Okay, so for chapter 10, well, 9 and 10 in my post 2, the first question was what are the top 2 takeaways from the 2 chapters? And I said that my top 2 takeaways from the chapters were the effort you have to put into relationships to be able to get back the same or more, whatever is dependent, and then also why people need social relationships. The second question is what are some of the biggest costs associated with maintaining friendships? And I said that it's being able to communicate and learning how to compromise with each other. To be able to put time and effort into the relationship, you need to be flexible, and depending on schedules, handling conflict or different personalities or needs, those are all going to be important to be able to continue growing in your relationship with somebody. And then a specific relationship of mine that I had was an on-and-off friendship for 3 years, and that was because of constant change and arguments about somebody's change, and the other person didn't like it because they thought that it was not nice for them. So trying to maintain that friendship became draining and was no longer good for each other's mental health or time and energy. So that caused the friendship to end. And then how do you know what the rules of friendship are and how did you learn the rules? Knowing the rules of friendship are dependent on the people. And so as you grow up, you learn how to interact with people, and then you also learn how to be friends with people like in kindergarten. And just as you grow, you learn morals, trust, understanding, and natural and mutual respect for one another. And these all change and grow from experience as you learn what you need or don't need, or what you are able to put out for another person. And then the last question is, the chapter discussed 6 social expectations for marriage. How do you share these expectations and which ones do you not? For me, I'm not married, never have been. And so I think my opinions could change being in this situation later in the future. Specifically with shared responsibilities, I personally don't agree with them. I think that either person can do any job. I don't think one person has to specifically do one and the other person is only limited to the others. So I think that just depends on the people in the relationship and is different for everybody. But being able to resolve conflict and compromise is also a huge part of marriage specifically, but also just any relationship with people in general. You need to be able to learn those things to have better relationships and just basically respecting each other by being able to learn what you need to do for each other. And I also think emotional support also comes with being able to compromise and being able to understand each other and the needs in the relationship. Because if you're not able to compromise and be understanding of one another, how are you going to be able to support them emotionally if you are on the same level and aren't able to understand them? So those are my thoughts for chapter 9 and 10.